In the days since the Old West End shooting, multiple Toledo City leaders are calling out lawmakers in Columbus, including Governor Mike DeWine, saying a lack of restrictions in the Buckeye State allow for incidents like this to happen. So we brought these concerns directly to the governor himself to get his take. Michael Sandlin spoke to the governor this morning and joins us in studio. And Michael, who in particular is speaking out?
Well, Dan, Toledo City Council members Nick Comives, Teresa Morris, and Aaron Kramer have been very vocal following the shooting, and Councilmember Comives even called out the governor by name. So this morning we caught up with the governor at BJSU, hearing his thoughts on the latest in the case, the critiques, and if people should feel safe going to festivals for the rest of the summer. For the first time, Governor Mike DeWine is speaking to cameras about the violence at the Old West End Fest.
Well, first of all, it's a great tragedy. It's a horrible, horrible thing that occurred. I had every confidence that the police would find the individuals.
The governor is confident Toledo can move forward, but not every Toledoan is confident in him. Namely, multiple Toledo City Council members have been pointing blame at state gun policies. I read one such statement from Councilman Nick Comives directly to the governor.
He said specifically that after the Dayton tragedy in 2019, many Ohioans believed that state leaders would finally confront the epidemic of gun violence with urgency and courage, and said years have passed without meaningful statewide action equal to the scale of this crisis. Governor DeWine has expressed concern after the shooting, as he has after others, but concern is not a policy.
We are doing things that have never been done before by the state. We set up, right after I became governor, assistance to our cities primarily to focus on repeat violent offenders. That is what you have to do. You have to lock up the repeat violent offenders. It is not more complicated than that.
However, the council members disagree, saying lax gun policies make policing the streets even harder. But when pressed on the possibility of gun control measures, the governor insisted that's not reality in the Buckeye State.
Look, the legislature's not going to pass that. That's not been passed. They're not going to pass that. The reality is that you can pass all the laws you want to, but if someone's got to have a gun, they want to have a gun, they're going to have a gun. We live in a country where we're not banning guns. That's just not going to happen.
Finally, I asked the governor, should Ohioans, especially Toledoans, feel safe going to major events the rest of the summer?
Look, I don't have any great advice other than these incidents don't occur often, but when they do, they're horribly tragic. We have to support the police. We have to stay focused. That's really the best advice I can give.
The governor says state resources will continue to back up the Toledo Police Department during their search for that second suspect. He says Toledo should be very proud of how the department has handled the case. In studio, I'm Michael Sandlin for WTOL 11.